Good evening. Y'all let me know if you can hear. Okay, thanks, Wanda. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to see if anyone else joins the live. So y'all bear with us. Let me see if I can play some music or something while we're waiting. Hey, Abril. Hold up, get ready to play some music real quick. Say something else, Abril. Okay, y'all, it's 5 after. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you, Blue. So, welcome to the first live for all things political. I see that Blue was the first person to say something at 12 midnight. Thanks, Blue. Hey, Janice. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Abril. Thank you. So, as the title said, we're going to talk about the find out phase. We know what's going on in this country, and a lot of people are deciding to wake up now. Um, they should have been woke before the election, but they decided not to listen to those of us who were trying to educate them and let them know that the person that they were getting ready to put into office has always been, in my opinion, a racist, a con man, and a liar. But they are now finding out. So I said what I said on here, and we are going to talk about it. And feel free to say what you want to say in the chat. So let me go ahead and um, play the first video. It's a short, and then we'll come back. Okay. The people are upset. What do you have to say about that? I said what I said.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say hello to everybody. And like Alice said, we are doing a political show, my favorite subject. And thank you guys for joining us. Um, I say it's the FAFFO moment. It's the mess around and find out moment. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what the other F word, the letter F means. And I'm not gonna say, because it is a curse word, but you guys can figure it out. And that's the moment that you're looking at this point. They were warned over and over again by the public, by certain news media, all on social media. So even if you never watch cable news or your local news, well, if you're on social media, you were informed about what the plans were for the current administration. And not only were you informed by the public, he even told them what his plans were. And everybody was on board for the plan. Everybody thought that, he was going to get rid of the immigrants. Everybody felt like he was going to get rid of DEI, like he's done. And everybody thought that the pain was going to hit other races. They never thought that it was going to hit home. And so, not only is he on board with all of these different, with all the different plan of actions that he's already implemented, like getting rid of DEI, invading all these different state houses. Let me put it like this: government entities, like the Department of Education, and you said, where they feed the hungry people. And not only does it feed the hungry people, it also affects a lot of jobs in the United States because it's like a machinery, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we just feed people and help other countries. You have to have employees to implement the plan and the goal. And so now that, he's trying to remove all these different government entities, him and Elon Musk, and I call him the Muskrat, okay? Him and the
Mm-hmm.
Muskrat, yeah, they're doing their thing. They're going in and they're removing people's jobs. They're firing federal employees, and a lot of the federal employees that they're firing, people that actually voted for Agent Orange, and that's what I call him. I call him Agent Orange.
Yeah,
And
they thought that federal employee meant DC, and um, although DC is, I believe, 43% black now. DC, when I grew up, DC was mostly black, and they called it Chocolate City, but it's
mhm,
changing because they gentrified DC. A lot of people who lived in DC moved outside um, in the different counties in Maryland and Virginia, because DC is expensive, so they basically priced them out. They tore down the old neighborhoods and different areas, And a lot of people still don't, if you don't live in the area or visit the area frequently, you don't know that it's really not like it used to be years ago where it was majority black. So even though there's still, DC is still Democratic area, so they're going to still vote for the Democratic Party. Um, I guess they associate that the race with the votes, but they thought that federal workers meant DC workers, and they probably figured it would be the black people losing jobs, but they messed around and they found out that it's not just DC. There are federal offices all over.
Exactly. And so they thought that it was going to, like I said, they thought it was going to affect our community, but they never thought it was going to hit home like it's hitting.
Mhm.
And so in the video, you guys are looking at the representatives because the representatives are going home and they're doing town hall meetings, right? And so the Republicans have the House and they have the Senate. Well, the House is on board with everything that Agent Orange is doing. Okay. And so that's the reason why these people are upset. And also it hit the farmers. It's hitting the farmers harder than it's hitting anybody. Because
Mhm.
you guys remember Biden set up a plan for the farmers for them to get a loan. And the way that the plan goes is he had them to, buy all their equipment that they need, and then the federal government was going to pay them back for the supplies and machinery that they need to run their farms. Well, that was in the oh, Alice, what's the bill called that Biden just did? The new
The oh my goodness,
I know it slipped my mind too.
yeah,
Just that quick. Um, but the oh, bill, it's not Build Back Better. That's
no, it's
Trump's
not Build
plan.
Back Better.
I cannot think of the plan that he had that he implemented. But the big infrastructure bill that Biden, let's put it like that, the big infrastructure bill that Biden approved,
Uh-huh.
and it was creating a lot of jobs and it was helping a lot of different areas. Well, Agent Orange went in there and undid that. He undid the bill that Biden he wrote an executive order, and he removed that plan. And so when he done that, the farmers are hurting now. They're having to pay for their own machinery. A lot of them said that they, got loans from different places to buy machinery, and now they're having to pay those. They're basically getting ready to lose their farms.
Yeah, so
It,
let me bring this video up
oh, okay.
because
You have a video about that too,
yeah,
huh? Oh,
yeah.
okay, great.
I'm starting to think maybe these Trump hating libtards are right. And if he keeps going at the pace he's going, he's going to make good on every one of his campaign promises in the first 6 months. I'm 41 years old. I've lived a struggle my whole life. I honestly thought I had a little bit more time to adjust. I really don't think I'm ready to live in a country that actually functions.
Actually, that's the same guy that I believe did that video, but it's not the video, so I don't have that video. But we're gonna go ahead and listen to him anyway. Hold on.
I'm starting to think maybe these Trump hating libtards are right. And if he keeps going at the pace he's going, he's going to make good on every one of his campaign promises in the first 6 months. I'm 41 years old. I've lived a struggle my whole life. I honestly thought I had a little bit more time to adjust. I really don't think I'm ready to live in a country that actually functions properly and functions for the people. What are we supposed to do for the last 3.5 years? Are we just supposed to break out in random chants, let's go Brandon, just for fun and good old times? I mean, as great as it sounds to work, get a little bit extra money back, not pay quite so much in taxes, have our tax dollars actually go to this country to make this country better, it all sounds great. But I honestly thought I had a little bit more time to adjust myself. So, I've made the decision. And I am hashtag leaving mega. When pigs fly. God bless.
Yeah, I wish I
Oh,
could feel sorry for him. I really do.
right. He's so sad, isn't he?
Yeah,
And so
but
solemn.
yeah.
But that bill was called the Investment Act. Remember the Investment and Jobs Act?
Um, no, it was called something else.
It was called something else. Okay.
Yeah, I still can't think of it, but um, it was called something else.
I know, and I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I just cannot think of the name of it. But yeah, it's very hard to feel sorry for them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are saying that they're going to leave they're going to leave MAGA. Well, it's a little bit too little, too late at this point.
Yep.
Right. You should have listened, and you should have, did some research. Even if you didn't believe social media, you didn't believe the news, because a lot of people have a problem with the news. Everything is liberal. Everything is, and see, that's the problem these days. Everything is labeled. Okay, you're going by these labels. You're going by the catchphrases, and even DEI is a catchphrase. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and so you're going by the catchphrases, and even woke, they even stole our word woke. And you're listening to all of this, the background noise. But what they should have been doing is really paying attention to what Trump said that he was going to do. He wrote it all down. It was on his webpage.
Yeah.
Project 2025 went around, and they had meetings, and they even put it out there in the atmosphere of what they were going to do. And
Uh-huh.
so I just don't understand what part of that did his people not understand.
Well, like I said before, they thought it was going to only affect,
I'm starting to think maybe these Trump hating lib.
sorry about that, only
Okay.
affect people that didn't look like them. So they thought they were fine. Even
Yeah.
the Hispanic people who voted for him thought that, oh, he wasn't going to bother them. But sometimes you learn things by listening to others, and then there are times when you just have to mess around and find out on your own. And so that's the stage that they are in.
Unfortunately, they are.
Yeah.
And it's not funny. It's kind of funny to watch them because they're actually shocked. They,
Yeah.
it's called the Inflation Reduction Act.
That's what it is. Inflation reduction.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Deduction Act. A Reduction Act. I knew
Yeah.
I had it at the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. I knew there was an R in there, and I
Yeah.
couldn't come up with a reduction.
But isn't it amazing to watch these videos and to watch these people and how shocked they are? I I,
Yeah.
I don't understand the shockness, because this is what you guys voted for. You voted for, and let's just put this out there. If you have a criminal in the White House that have 34 different cases against him,
Mm.
that has been proven that he's guilty, and you put him in the White House, what do you expect to happen? I don't understand.
Well, they thought, that he was a Christian, they say, and that, yes, God will forgive the repentant, but you have to be repentant. And see, they didn't understand that. So they thought that well, some thought that he was a changed man, and then there was some who thought that he was kidding. He was just joking around when he said some of those things. And then, some people, they don't really have a mind of their own. So they go with whatever their cult leaders tell them that they should think. And so now, again, they're finding out.
Well, I have one question, Alice. If you're a Christian, and this happened before he became president the second time,
Hmm.
do you know any other Christians that write their own Bible?
Well, first of all, he's not a Christian. I don't know any. Um, I well, I'm kind of like blue when it comes to Christians. Some people, I don't, I don't know why they say they're Christians or whatever. I guess they call themselves followers of Christ, but a follower of Christ would know that Second Corinthians is not 2 Corinthians, and
Right.
also would not take a photo op with the Bible upside down. And then a real follower of Christ would know that Jesus Christ is not just for America. He died for the world, not just the United States of America. And so I question their relationship when it comes to that, for them to even think that this man could possibly follow Christ.
And they asked him what was his favorite scripture, and which testament did he like,
Right.
the old or the new.
Yeah,
And
he said well, equal.
he said it's equal. And
he,
so
he couldn't even say Jesus wept.
right, that's the easiest scripture in the Bible to remember, is Jesus wept. Even babies can remember that scripture.
Right.
But at the end of the day, um I don't know. Well, first of all, and we're not trying to make this into church. Please, I want to make sure that gets straight. But you're not supposed to have any false idols. You're not supposed to worship false idols.
Mm-hmm.
But at the convention, they had a big statue of him. I think it was a gold statue, was
Yeah,
it?
it was. It
Yeah.
was.
And it looked just like a false idol to me. And
Yeah.
everybody was walking by and they were touching it, as if
Right.
they were totally worshiping him. And God said, "Don't have no other God before me." So in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, you're putting this man in front of God. You're worshiping him as if he was better than God. And then
Mm-hmm.
you compare him to God.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what is your Christian walk like when you have a man that's on this earth that you worship and that you idolize more than you idolize your own beliefs? Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, these people are not kids. They say that they've been Christians all their lives. Matter of factly, what are they called? Christian nationalists.
Right.
They even have a name, which that's an oxymoron as well, because Christianity and politics shouldn't mix. The whole time that the United States have, when the Constitution was made, it's in the Constitution to separate church and state. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but somewhere along the lines and along the way, we've kind of meshed those two together. We meshed it together so much to where now we have a political party that reference themselves to being Christian nationalists, is basically what they call themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so uh, you're saying that you're a Christian, but you're idolizing man, and God's supposed to be the person that you idolize and that you worship, and not man. And so that make me question their walk, their conservative Christian walk. Like, how are you idolizing this man, and you're actually putting him before God? You're putting him
Uh-huh.
before your values. And when they were interviewed on TV, the last 4 to 5 years, or I say the last 8 years. Anytime any news reporter interviewed them, they asked him, "Well, he's not a Christian. He doesn't go to church. What makes you feel like that he's a Christian? Why would you vote for him?" Well, yeah, it's a lot of things that he say and do that I don't agree with, but it's the policies. So what they did was, in order to keep their money and in order to stomach, is what they say, they stomach, they close their eyes, shut their eyes, and they just went ahead and
Mhm.
voted for him. And so they don't like the way he talked, they don't like the way he walked, but they do like his policies. And so you
Well,
put everything else aside just so that you can keep a quarter in your pocket. So, make that make sense to me too, because that doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, a lot of them, what they really like is that he hates the same people that they hate. And that's the bottom line. See, I, it's sad that he doesn't really care about anything but his bottom line, which is money, and his friends with money, and the very people who think or believe that he's a so-called Christian. They don't even realize that this man is nothing about God. He is all about, his God is money. And unfortunately, they are like, I remember when I was a kid, I probably said it before, but when I was a kid, I grew up in the church. My grandmother, when she was living, made sure that we went to church, and I would listen to the pastor, and it's crazy because I memorized scriptures as a kid, but I never really read a Bible. Um, I would I would read it when I was in the church, because they had Bibles in church. I would read that, and I would memorize like 23rd Psalm and Jesus wept and stuff like that. But I didn't really read the Bible. So whatever the preacher said, that's what I believed. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized that the preacher is not always right. They can misquote things, they can misinterpret things as well. So you have to read the word for yourself. And a lot of these people are showing me, from what I'm getting from them, is that they don't study the word. They don't read the word for themselves. They go by what whoever tells them. They're basically brainwashed. And some of them are brainwashed by pastors in church. And so they're easily brainwashed by those people that the pastor support. So that's what I get from it. They don't know the word for themselves. In other words, they don't have a relationship with God. They're looking to someone else to tell them what they should or should not believe.
Oh, okay. So they have an excuse. So since they didn't read the Bible, I guess they
Mhm.
don't know that passage to study to show thy self approval.
No, they no the,
They know
the
nothing about that,
yeah,
right?
the pastor didn't tell them that.
Okay. He
Mhm.
skipped over that part of it. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you. Oh,
yeah.
so now I'm beginning to understand by and by why we doing what we doing. But at the end of the day, um, you know, don't the pastor teach them that you can't make it to heaven if you know what I mean? You might can because nobody, been on alive and came back and told us the story. But
Right.
from my teaching, my Sunday school teacher and my pastor used to tell us, study so that you'll know the word yourself. And that way, when I get up here and preach, you understand what I'm talking about. Because, like,
Mhm.
how are you going to know what he's talking about if you never studied the Bible? You don't know any of the stories and you can't correlate to what he's talking about. But I understand what you're saying. They're just going by with what man tell them instead of being inspired Because one thing about it, you know, when you read your Bible, God will give you understanding of
Mhm.
what you're reading. You know, if you study good enough and you study hard enough, you know, he will give you insight of what you're reading and what you're studying. And to me, the Bible is like any other book or any other thing we do in life. In order to get better, you do have to practice, right? So if you practice reading the Bible, then you'll understand it for yourself better by and by. And
Right.
even if you can't get it in and you can't understand it, they have Bibles now that actually have a definition of whatever scripture is.
Yeah. The
So
concordance.
yeah. So it it,
Mhm.
that- it just so if you actually just take the Bible out and you buy one of those type of Bibles, it'll help you. It'll help give you reference. It'll help give you guidance of what the scripture is actually talking about. But you
Mhm.
know, people are lazy
Yep.
and people get repetitious. Let's put it like that. Just to go back to what you were saying, Alice, and we get complacent
Mhm.
and we do things a certain way, and you know we just don't you know, if it's a straight line then we walk in that straight line, and you know this is the way we've done it, this is the way we're going to always do it, and this is the way it should be. And no, I don't know for myself, but this is what my pastor said,
Mhm.
because once again you're worshiping man versus God, and a lot of people make that mistake where they worship their pastor instead of you know, knowing the word for themselves.
Right.
They listen to what the pastor say, and the pastor don't even know everything. I'm you know, I'm not trying to talk about the preachers or nothing, but sometimes they be off track.
Yeah. Some of them,
Okay,
some of those people are in it for the money as well.
right.
So you
And
have to.
this may sound a little harsh, but I always say it's a lot of these preachers going around pimping God for their own personal use, and that's just
Uh-huh.
I have to call it like I see it, because that's just what it is, and
Uh-huh.
that's what Agent Orange is doing. In
Uh-huh.
my opinion, he's pimping the American public so that he can fill up his pockets and his friends' pockets.
Yep.
If you look at the cabinet, like a brilliant said in the chat a while ago, he got that cabinet full of billionaires. Like Bernie Sanders said, this is the first time in history that we've
Mhm.
had a cabinet full of oligarchs in office.
Yep. So Abril had a lot of good things to say, and I couldn't star everything, but I have starred some things. So we're gonna get to your comments, Abril. Don't think we forgot about you.
Yeah, because I'm watching the comments go by
Uh-huh.
as she put them in there. And
Uh-huh.
so yeah, this is the first time that we've had out, you know, most of the time Americans, you know, they dislike when somebody in office even have on an expensive dress. Some
Right.
of the first ladies had to dress down so that the American public wouldn't be upset with them for spending too much money on their clothes. One person that I have in mind is Michelle Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Obama always had to not spend too much. She had to watch everything that she did every day for 8 years just so that she wouldn't get the backlash from the public. And then here we go with this new man, with this Agent Orange. Y'all just allow him to do everything, and nobody say anything. You know,
Right.
no matter what he do, no matter how much his wife dress costs, it's like, you know, no rules for him at all. No rules, no regulations, uh no guardrails or anything. And matter of factly, the Supreme Court made him a king, said that he can't even really be prosecuted for anything. Anything he does, as long as it's under the guise of being a president, then you know he's immune.
Yeah. I heard earlier that he stole the classified documents again and sent them back down to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, some more documents.
The same documents that he took before
Oh,
that they
okay.
were
That they went got.
that they indicted him for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they dismissed the case, but he took those same documents and sent them back to Mar-a-Lago. He said that those are his documents.
Oh, okay. So he won't be prosecuted anyway because he's doing it
Right.
under the guise of being a president, and the Supreme Court said that he can do that.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to another video, see what this one is.
Okay.
I'm in 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I vote for Trump.
and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
So, what do you think?
Well, I wonder what part of it that they regret.
They never thought that the leopards would eat their face.
Well, I've always said that they were going to be like crabs in a barrel. Once they wake up and find out what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, once again, what part of that did y'all not understand? The Project 2025 portion, or I'm sending everybody back to Mexico, or I'm implementing all these tariffs? Because like I said, what he think he's doing a mandate. He told y'all this is what he was going to do. So what did they, I just don't understand, what did they expect after he told them what he was going to do?
Mm-hmm. Well, whatever they were expecting, they didn't get that.
And it's only been a month. Like,
yeah, imagine. Just imagine what else he's going to do.
Right. It's only been a month and 10 or 15 days.
They say a month.
Because he came in on January the 20th, and we're at March. What's today?
12 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't even been a good 30 days. We'll give him a week just to settle in. But he came in, on 100. He came in, but he said he was going to do this, though. He said within the first 100 days, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And now that he's doing it, like that one man said, I thought I was going to be able to have some time and get ready for it. So in my mind, you telling me you knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
You just upset because you didn't have enough time to prepare. And what do you want to call this? A tsunami? You didn't have time to prepare for the tsunami, so now you're upset for the tornado or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Hurricane Trump is what you want to call it. You didn't have time to prepare for it, and so you didn't expect for him to go in there and start doing what he said he was going to do. But he told you guys on day one, let's go down the line, egg prices were coming down, gas prices were going to come down, your grocery bill was going to come down. I'm going to stop the war in Ukraine. I'm going to get all these immigrants out, and it's not going to take that much, and it's not going to be that difficult. In the war, all he have to do is make one call to Putin and Zelensky, and the war was going to be over within one day. Israel was going to be okay in one day, and nothing has happened. All of those promises have been broken. No, he hasn't done any of that yet.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
he did do something that was very powerful.
What did he do?
He changed the name from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America.
Now, see, he didn't even tell us he was going to do that. That was just a surprise, That was extra. Because I never heard him say that he was going to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Well, that was a distraction.
Exactly. And then he played like he was flying. Remember, he played like he was flying across the Gulf as he was signing the paperwork. It didn't look like he was on a plane to me, but I digress because I wasn't there. Okay. So I can't say concretely and for sure that he wasn't on a plane. But at the end of the day, he didn't even make that promise, and he made that happen also. So I guess that was just an extra that he was going to throw in for a bonus for us.
But
you,
because he did that doesn't mean that the name is changed.
Exactly.
Google is the only one that has it as the Gulf of America.
Well, at the end of the day, we kind of stole America. We kind of stole, Mexico was part of America, right? Okay. California, Texas, all of this was actually Mexico's land, and we just came in and kind of took over, like we took it from the Indians. Well, we took it from the Mexicans also, but I'm gonna digress on that too. And
Yeah,
so
we can
he's
talk
gonna,
about that all day too.
yeah, he's gonna switch the name over to Gulf of America, and that doesn't even sound right because it's been the Gulf of Mexico for all this time.
Yeah.
But also remember, he said he's gonna take the Panama Canal. He said he wanted to buy Greenland, and he want to make Gaza out of golf resorts and hotels, and kind of make it like a paradise.
Right.
So he do have big dreams and aspirations.
One
thing I want him to work on is this war, with Russia and Ukraine. So I want to see how he's gonna manage that.
Oh, he's from what I see, he plans to make sure that Russia gets whatever they want.
Yeah. But they're going to have to take Zelensky out to do it because President Zelensky is not having that.
Right.
This guy, he held this war down before the United States even started helping him out. And Russia thought they were going to go in there and they thought that they were going to be done. Putin said it wasn't going to take nothing. They were going to be done. What did he say? Within a month or two? He said that, 100 days or whatever. They thought they were going to go in there and just wipe the face of Ukraine out and just go over there and take all their land. But Zelensky changed his mind on that. And so the only reason why Putin is still standing and the only reason why he's still able to do this war is because Trump is in office still. Trump made it back to the office. And that's the only thing that I feel bad about is because Ukraine probably will have to lose this war because of Trump. Because did you see how he gaslighted him in the Oval Office the other day?
That was ridiculous.
Very ridiculous. It really was disgusting and a shame how him and JD Vance just gaslighted that man, saying that he need to bow down to them and he need to be more grateful. Be grateful for what?
Yeah.
Because he's trying to save his country's life and defend his country. And so, I feel like that was a distraction also. I really want to know what the real reason was, what they were doing behind the scenes, because they're real good at that. They're real good about look over here while I do this over there.
Right.
So I'm waiting to see what the over there was, because that was a show so that you wouldn't pay attention to what they're really doing. He loved to deflect because he'll have you looking one way while him and his friends do something different the other way. So something is coming down the pipeline for them to do that. And what it is, I don't know, because I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not in Washington, but I can guarantee you something else is getting ready to jump off. That's the reason why he blew that meeting up. He blew that up on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Another distraction.
And one more thing I want to talk about too, Alice. I know we're doing the FAFO moments, but what do you think about all the news media, how they're kowtowing to him?
They're scared. I think the reason why some of the congressmen are going along with whatever he says is because they've been threatened. And I think that media has been threatened as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threatened because they're going to lose their jobs like the rest of the Americans.
Right. Well, he already put, he stopped the Associated Press from doing the, being on the press conferences.
Oh, he took them at the White House press room?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
I hadn't heard that one. I hadn't saw that.
So, and that's how a lot of people get their news and information.
Yeah, I use them a lot because they do have accurate information.
So he's probably threatening them that they won't be able to interview him or his people. I see Urban has entered the chat.
Hey,
Yeah, we're talking about your
Urban.
guy. We are talking about your guy, Urban. So,
in the show that he got going on, because it's definitely a show.
Most definitely.
Show and not tell. is what it is. But okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't know that he had removed the Associated Press from the press corps and from the press room. Okay, but that makes sense though, because people from around the world, Associated Press is known for not only in America but around the world
Right.
actually read their news articles, because they
Right.
are factual, and they do report, the real news and not fake news, and they're not biased
Right.
when they're reporting the news.
And he doesn't
But
want that.
but Alice, have you paid attention to the stock market?
Crashing.
Big time.
Yeah. But remember him when he said that when Biden was in office and the stock market was doing so good, he said that was because people thought that he was going to win the election. So people were, investing in the stocks were going up.
Yeah, because they knew he was going to win, huh?
So yeah, so they did all that because they thought he was going to win. But when he so-called won, now the stock market is crashing. Make it make sense.
I can't. I just saw an article on him also. I saw a news clip yesterday, and a reporter asked him about the stock market and why was it crashing. And he said it's Biden's fault.
Yeah.
And he said, well, no, you've been the president for a whole month now. And he said, well, it takes time. Well, that ain't what you said when you was on the campaign trail. You said that people were going to have money and their 401ks were going to be great. And, everything was just going to happen on day one. So, I mean, which one is it? Can you make these things? We already know you can't make it happen because we're on day, 41 now at this point?
Yeah.
What did you say? 12 days in, or yeah?
Day 40?
We're like on day 41, 42. And the whole time, everything just kind of, really everything done went down the drain at this point within 41 days. And you haven't even been in office the first quarter yet. We haven't even hit 3 months yet, and everything is already tanking.
Yeah.
And you've already gotten rid of, I think they said 100,000 people have already lost their job, or 200,000. Do you remember the number?
I'm not sure of that number.
Yeah, I think I heard yesterday over 200 people have already lost their jobs within this first 42 days of you being in office. And most of them come from the federal government. So instead of you creating jobs, you're alleviating jobs. So make that make sense also. So I just don't know. Well, maybe we'll have a lot of jobs when he deport all the immigrants, and we'll have the jobs. Yeah, we'll have the jobs in the fields and the orange groves. Yeah, maybe they can. Maybe all those MAGA federal employees that lost their jobs. Well, maybe they can go and pick oranges and apples and bananas and things like that. Help feed America.
Right.
And Mexico definitely not playing with him. Mexico or Canada, neither one of them are playing with them. And Elon Musk lost $100 million yesterday because Canada put 100% tax. I don't know if it was 100 million, but I think I saw 100 million. And Urban May could correct me in the chat because I'm sure he's keeping up with this since this is guy. And so, but Elon Musk is losing a lot of money because they're taxing his cars at 100%.
But he's going to find a way to get it back because he is fleecing America. He's on a grift campaign, and he's all up in these departments, and it's illegal. But I'm trying to figure out why they can't stop him.
Well, I tell him what, he better hope in 4 years he might want to, kowtow back to Africa, because at this point you're really breaking the Logan Act. And you guys need to look that up if you don't know what the Logan Act is. Okay, because he's a non-governmental employee looking into governmental things, and you're not supposed to do that. That's breaking the law at this point. And so it's just like a lot of people, look at the January 6 people. How many of those people went to jail because of Trump? That's what this guy does. He make other people do his dirty bidding for him while his hands are clean and everybody else get in trouble. Okay?
Right.
His, even his account.
You there? What happened? Can y'all hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay. I don't know what happened with I said what I said. And okay, she dropped down for some reason. Yeah, he is an American citizen, Urban, but he admitted that he was here illegally before he became a citizen. So how is that different from the girl with Real Housewives? I don't know why I can't think of names today, but the girl from Real Housewives of Atlanta, her ex-husband got deported because he was here illegally based on him lying on his papers to come here. So I don't understand why that's so different. Y'all give me a minute. I'm trying to see what's going on with I said what I said. I'll be right back, okay? Let me play some music real quick while I see what's going on with that. Looks like I said what I said is back. You okay? If you don't, you have a bad connection. You might need to go back out and come back in. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Still that problem. We can't, your sound is messed up.
About now, is the sound better?
Good now.
I'm good now. Okay, so I just had to take my headset off. I guess I can't have two things plugged in at once.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway. So now, what was I talking about? I forgot that quick because I got thrown off my game.
And you know, I'm older than you are, so maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. But
that is funny.
Hey, Jamila.
Yeah, is Jamila in there? So Jamila should be able to tell us.
Who remembers what she was saying?
But that's okay. Just go ahead and play another video.
Okay.
And it may come back to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Let me find another video. Let's see. Here with me. Okay, here we go.
But the problem is that we have a president that is adversarial to states that don't vote for him. And so what some of these people fail to realize, down in Alabama, who's broke, down in Louisiana, who's broke, I can go through pretty much the entire South and tell you that they're broke, and they rely on a lot of welfare from the government. To be perfectly honest, it is tax dollars from these big blue states like New York. Yeah, they send a lot of money into taxes, and then broke states end up benefiting from it, and now they're about to find out. So we're in the find out phase, and you've got, the other senator from Alabama, she decided to weigh in as well because the largest employer is University of Alabama. And guess what? They decided that they were going to cut all the research dollars. So research takes place at universities. So now you're going to have people in your already broke state that don't have jobs. The recession is coming. I told you here first.
Y'all heard what she said? She said, I told you here first. I love Jasmine Crockett. She tells it like it is. Are you there? I said what I said?
Yeah, I was just letting you speak. Yeah,
okay. She tells it like it is.
She is. I love her too, and I'm proud to say she's from Texas. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me say something. I see Irvin says, then again, DOGE is a government agency.
It has to be approved by Congress.
It's not right. Thank you. It's not approved by Congress. You just can't take a department and just change a name and say we have a new department. That's not how this works. And I expect someone who's president of the United States to know that. Maybe ordinary citizens don't know it, but the president, so-called president of the United States, should definitely know that. And I prefer my presidents not to just be stepping into the presidency for the first time as a government employee, because make no mistake about it, the president of the United States is an employee of the government of the United States. Even though he so-called elected, he gets paid by the taxpayers. So I expect him to know better. And when you know better, you should do better. Okay, go ahead. I said what I said.
And that's right, Alice. So yeah, you just can't make up different entities. And also, we do have 3 branches of government. And so he's in there trying to operate as if he was a king. And like no rules apply to him. Even J.D. Vance tried to threaten the judges about not striking down any executive order that he implement. And keep in mind, guys, he's not getting any of these orders. Anything that he's doing, he's not getting it approved through Congress, and that's the way that our order is. That's what the Constitution say. You can't have any laws. Yeah, presidents can do executive orders, but the next president can go back in there and just undo, just like he undid a lot of stuff that Biden did. The next president can go in there and undo everything that he's done. And
Right.
so if he's going to rule his presidency on executive orders only, well, then we all can just look at this as a temporary basis, because it's not going to fly. And getting back to what Jasmine Crockett said, they are in the find out phase. And unfortunately, not only are the MAGA in the find out stage, we all are. It's like when you work for a company and you only have, let's just say you have a company and you have 200 employees. You have 5 employees that won't follow company policies and procedures and guidelines. But when the company have a meeting, they have to have a meeting for everybody.
Right.
You have to go in there and chastise everybody as if everybody was doing something wrong, when you only had these 5 people that wouldn't follow procedure.
Right.
Okay. And so that's the same thing about Agent Orange. Unfortunately, the whole America is going to have to suffer, because half of America voted this guy into office. Not even half of America.
Right. Less than half.
Yeah, it's less than half that voted for him. And at the end of the day, what I want them to do is abolish the Electoral College, because the Electoral College was set up because people didn't have a way to Washington back in the day. They had horse and buggy. So people couldn't, go vote for the president the way that they needed to. They couldn't get around, to get their vote in. And then a lot of states, the North and the South was real uneven, right?
Right.
You had more people in the North than you did the South. So to make it even, they came up with the Electoral College. So that the votes could, have a more equal footprinting. Now you can get from point A to point B in a plane, maybe if your plane will make it now. But prior to Trump being in office and removing all of the FAA workers, the planes used to be like one of the safest forms of transportation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that we have, America is filled with people in all states, that, in my opinion, the Electoral College is no longer necessary. So I hope they, the next president in the next Congress, I hope they try to work on that and try to change the law on that.
Yeah.
Which I know they won't do, because the Republicans rely on it. It's one of their ways of getting in office. Because if we didn't have the Electoral College and we only went by the popular vote, a lot of these we probably wouldn't hardly ever have a Republican president, because it seems like the Democrats get the more popular vote and the Republicans just only get the Electoral College vote.
Mm-hmm.
But so just back to what she was saying, we're all going to have to suffer, because a few people put him in office, and now he feel like he has some type of mandate from the people, which the people didn't even mandate this. He mandated it.
Mm-hmm.
It really is the Project 2025 plan being implemented, and they're making him the face of it, because he doesn't mind being the bad guy. Okay, it seemed like he thrive on people not liking him, even though he have thin skin and he don't want anybody to criticize him.
Right.
But he doesn't mind being the bad guy either. Mm-hmm. So while Leonard Leo them, hired their hands and implement Stephen Miller and the rest of his crew with Project 2025 and JD Vance also, because JD Vance helped implement helped write up the 2020 Project 2025. So that's basically what they're doing. They're implementing this Project 2025 at a very fast rate, and calling it just, government, calling it Doge really is what the Doge is really. The face of Project 2025 is another name for Project 2025, in my opinion. What do you feel about that, Alice?
Well, I think that yeah, I agree with you with but meanwhile what they're doing is they're so-called calling themselves reducing the deficit or getting rid of wasteful spending. But meanwhile, Elon Musk is getting $8 million a day from his government contracts. So I think, actually, let me say this, that I believe, and a lot of other people believe, that Donald Trump is suffering from dementia. And I know the signs of dementia, having had relatives who suffered, as well as other people that I know who suffered from Alzheimer's and dementia. And I believe that he is being manipulated, that they know he's suffering, just like they knew that Reagan had Alzheimer's and they went along with it. And that's why Nancy was really the president. But anyway, we're going to not dwell on that. But I believe they were manipulating him because he has an ego. And because of his ego, and they're making him think that you are the man, that they're letting him do all of these things. And really, we'll see what happens after all of these things are implemented and they have no use for him. I want to see what's going to happen then. So I don't think that he is really, I think he thinks he's in control, but he's really not. I've never in my life seen where the president has a meeting in the Oval Office and he has someone else standing up there answering all the questions, and with a child in the Oval Office as well, and a child with a mouth at that.
Right. That was the cutest, but that was the best thing. The baby running the country seemed like. He told Donald Trump to be quiet and told him that he wasn't the president. And let's talk about this attire. Now, the office of the president, you're supposed to dress up. Remember, they just ostracized Obama for putting a tan suit on. Meanwhile, you got Elon Musk in the office in jeans and a t-shirt.
Right.
And a black make America great again hat. Even changed the color of his hat. He also had him in a cabinet meeting in the same type of attire. But you want to ostracize Obama and you want to ostracize Zelensky for coming to the White House without a suit on. But you let Elon Musk run around all around Washington, D.C. on Pennsylvania Avenue. He can go in any office he wants to in his jeans and shirt, and nobody has said a word. And remember, Trump used to, the first time he was in office, he made everybody put a suit on. Because, he wanted everybody to put a suit and a suit coat on and a tie. He wanted everybody to be formal. But for whatever reason, Elon Musk don't have to follow the same rules that everybody else have to follow. And let me just go ahead and address Urban. First of all, Urban, Elon Musk is in America on an expired visa. Okay, so he should be the first one to be deported. And he doesn't have a security clearance. Nobody in the Oval Office has a security clearance. Only reason why Trump is able to clear out is because he's the president. If they had to put him through the security clearance format, he wouldn't make it either. Just like he had Ivanka and Jared Kushner the first time, they were never able to get a security clearance. So you got all these people that's in office, that's in your cabinet, that's in around the Oval Office, and nobody has a security clearance. Nobody, not even the president, in my opinion. But I guess that's okay because it's Trump,
Right.
And he's the Messiah. And so he should be able to, and he's the king. so he can do whatever he want to do. I really wanted Joe Biden to take a page out their playbook, and I know two wrongs don't make it right, but I really wish Joe Biden would have said, well, no, I'm not finna, and Kamala Harris, I'm not signing for him to be the president on January the 6th. You know how she have to sign the paper so that he can be the president.
Certified.
Yeah, I wish she wouldn't have signed it, and I wish Joe Biden would have refused to leave office like Trump did, and let's see what would have happened.
Right.
How you think they would like those apples?
Oh, they wouldn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Democrats would have been the devil, and this is not a democracy, and all kinds of stuff they would have been saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been.
Yes, that's why they can get away with so much, because they expect the Democrats. They say that they are supposed to be supreme or whatever, but they expect the Democrats to have the decorum that they don't have. And they do things any kind of way, but they expect Democrats to have more class. That's what I want to say, class.
Mm-hmm. And decorum.
Yeah, but I wish I'm with you. I wish she had said, "Nah, I ain't doing it."
Right. You know, play hardball, because see, the Democrats been playing checkers, and the Republicans been playing chess. And it's a stark difference between chess and checkers. Right. And so they, like you said, they want the Democrats to follow the rules. We supposed to cross all the I's, cross all the T's. Meanwhile, the Republicans, you know, can take the short route. They can cut the corners. Just like Mitch McConnell didn't want to give Obama the Supreme Court justice, make Merrick Garland a Supreme Court justice. But Trump get to put Amy Coney Barrett in there the last days of his administration.
Right.
During the lame duck time. And that's really when nothing's supposed to happen.
Right.
And then Mitch McConnell have the nerve to get upset because two federal judges decided not to retire because Trump won. And Trump got up and made a speech about that. And like, I know the pot is not calling the kettle black, just because the Democrats are playing a little hardball, and that's what we need. I'm a Democrat, and I like the Democrats, okay, but I think they need a new playbook, and we need some new players. I'm sorry, but all of these old Democrats that we have, they need to get out of office. Nancy Pelosi, Clyburn, Chuck Schumer, in my opinion, they need to change the whole ball game up. If you over 70, then I don't feel like you ought to be in office.
Well, I don't know if I would say 70, but
how old do you think they should be? Because after 70, don't you feel tired?
I definitely would say that anybody 80 or over should retire.
Right. And you know, even Nancy Pelosi said she was going to retire, but then she turns around and fill out the form to go run for office again. Like when are you going to go home, lady? You've been in there. I mean, you've done everything that you can do, and we'll, you know, we clap our hands and we applaud you. Thank you very much. But you blind your pockets up also, because see, some of the Democrats, they're not, all of their hands are not clean either. Some of them are in the pocketbook of the lobbyists also.
Yeah.
They go in poor and they come out rich. So at the end of the day, you know, we need a new playbook. We really do. We need the people that's going to be in there that's going to work for us and not work for lobbyists, because it seems like that's what both sides are doing. It's just that the Republicans are better at doing it.
Right. But I believe it's more, and this is just my opinion, I believe it's more Republicans that are on the take than Democrats. Not to say there aren't any Democrats on the take, because I do believe that the reason why Nancy Pelosi voted against them making sure that the Congress people didn't have, something to do with investing in stocks.
Yeah.
And she voted against it because, you know, that's probably how they make their money. So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But
inside the stock trade.
Yeah, basically insider trading.
They sent Martha to jail for that, Alice.
Right. That's what I was going to say. What they sent Martha to prison for, some of them doing the same thing.
Yes. And they'll send you to jail for doing it also. But meanwhile, they got their hands in the cookie jar. And that's what I don't like about it. I'm not saying that the Democrats are holier than thou and they're better than Republicans. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, and all of this is my is opinion-based fact. My opinion. It's not
opinion-based facts.
Yeah. It's my opinion and my thoughts. I feel like they got their hands in the cookie jar. A lot of them do. And I feel like some of them need to go back to the house because we need some new blood in the game. Because they're getting too old. And there's nothing wrong with getting old, because that's my goal, is to get old.
Everybody's goal should be to get old.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't need to be in Congress because you can't keep up with the times. Just like when the tech people came out with AI, and when social media came out, half of the Congress didn't even understand what Mark Zuckerberg was talking about. That's why we don't have any guidelines on social media. Do you know social media they police themselves. You don't have any laws from the federal standpoint because they can't understand social media. Most of them don't even make their own tweets. They have their employees doing it. Most of them can't even get on TikTok. They don't understand how TikTok works. They don't understand how fast a word and how one video can go viral. They don't understand that. I put a video up on TikTok and it went viral within one day. And all it was talking about was Lester Holt was leaving NBC. I got almost 300,000 people to look at that one video. And that's what Congress don't understand. They don't understand that, all it takes is one good video and it can spread like wildfire because it is social media. They don't understand AI. They don't understand that you can get a still picture and make that picture talk because of AI, or you can make something that's fake look real. They don't understand that.
Right.
And they can't comprehend that because they're not keeping up with the times, because I'm sorry, but at a certain age, you're not going to keep up with technology. You just not, especially if you're not in that field.
Yeah, for the most part. So Urban said no politicians work for the people, period. And that's a lie. There are some politicians who are working for the people. Unfortunately, I didn't mean to say that's a lie, but it's not true. Unfortunately, the people who do work for the people are in the minority. And a lot of them are in it just for the paycheck. And I can tell you this because, as an example, the Republicans in Congress, if there were 4 of them who wanted to, who was standing 10 toes down, they were not going to vote for this bill, the spending bill that Congress recently passed. Now, one guy, he held his ground and he said he was not going to vote for it. Well, he wasn't going to vote for it, not because he cared about the poor people or the people that they look down upon. It's because it didn't do enough damage. So make no mistake about that. He didn't vote for it because he didn't feel that it did enough damage. The other 3, they said they weren't going to vote for it. But what happened was their dear leader called. And as soon as he talked to them, they changed their minds. So what's happening is they're being threatened that they're going to be primaried if they don't vote for whatever Trump wants. But see, if you are in your position for the people, it wouldn't matter to you if you were primaried, if you lost, because your sole reason for being there is you're supposed to be a servant of the people. But too many aren't a servant of the people. They are there to serve themselves. So that's why we are where we are. But not all politicians are corrupt. There are some good politicians, just like all police officers aren't bad. There are some good ones, but we just hear about the bad ones.
And it's just like I said a while ago when I made that analogy about the company. You know, you have a company of employees of 200 people, and you have 5 people that's making the company look bad. So then, you know, that's what people will say. Well, this is not a good company. Look at what they do. Because, you know, all it takes is one person to make the whole, you know, batch of apples rotten.
Right.
And so you can't just say that all politicians are bad or all politicians are good. So that's why I made the analogy. Some of the Democrats are in the pocketbooks of the, you know, have the lobbyists in their back pocket. Some of them do, not all, but some do.
Right.
And a lot of these politicians, they're following their constituents, especially on the Republican side, because it's a lot of Republicans that feel like that Black people are taking advantage of the system too much. And in actuality, Black people really only represented 3% of DEI. DEI consisted of a bunch of white women, disabled veterans, and all other foreigners. It didn't consist of a lot of Black people, and that's why come everybody is having this find out moment.
Right.
You know, the real truth is really coming out, and they didn't realize, you know, that you know, they didn't realize that it wasn't Black America. And even in my opinion, the whole government is a big welfare system. Elon Musk is the biggest welfare recipient there ever has been.
Say it again.
Getting all of the government contracts, that's welfare.
Right.
He's not spending his own money. He's getting taxpayer dollars to fund his Starlink program that he has going on, and any other government contract. If it wasn't for the government, he wouldn't be able to have a satellite company.
Right.
He wouldn't have been able to build Tesla. Tesla come from the government, not from Elon Musk. Elon Musk was smart enough, or had his lawyers, because, you know, when you get a government contract, you have to know how to dot the I's and cross the T's in order to even get the contract, right? It's a lot of paperwork. So he just had a lot of smart people, or maybe he did it himself, I don't know. But however it went, he was able to obtain these government contracts. And to me, he's the biggest recipient of welfare, more than anybody in the United States. And he's not even an American citizen.
Well, according to them, he is a citizen. I'm not sure of when he actually became a citizen, but according to what I have managed to see, he is a citizen. However, he, like Melania Trump, lied to get to where they are.
But how is he a citizen when he's on an expired visa? That's not an American citizen.
I think that his visa expired, but he did the proper paperwork or whatever to become a citizen. But with him doing that, just like Portia, I couldn't think of her name, but just like Portia Williams' ex-husband,
Simon.
He lied on his paperwork, and then I'm not sure if he became legit or not. He lied on his.
No, he never did.
Okay, but he lied on his paperwork.
What he did was, what Simon did was, he came into the country on a visa. It expired in the 90s, and they sent him back to Africa. Then he came back with another name and came back on another visa.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's how he was able to get back into the country, because he came under another name.
Right, but Elon lied on his visa also.
Exactly.
and that should have disqualified him, just like Melania lied too.
Exactly. Said she was going to do a modeling career.
So neither one of them. She said something about she came on a genius visa or something. So they both lied. So they both should not be here. But you know how that goes,
right? And Trump said he wanted to take us back to the 1930s, right? He said
right.
The reason why he's doing the tariffs because in the 1930s, 1900s to 1930, we were a tariff driven country, and so those are the laws that he want to go back to. So he really needed to deport himself because within that time frame between the 30s and whenever his people got to America, they were immigrants also. So really, he's not a citizen. If we're gonna go back with if your parents wasn't born here, then you're not a citizen. Well, that applies to him also.
Right.
So we need to deport him, his kids, all of his family, and he need to get his wife out of here, and he need to get Elon Musk out of here because none of them are really considered citizens if we're going to go under his laws.
Right.
In his
law. When John says that he has dual citizenship of Canada and Africa, actually,
but not in the United
States. No longer has citizenship in South Africa. But according to my research, he has citizenship in Canada and in the United States, and that Canada is trying to terminate his citizenship. So we see what happens there.
Yeah, they terminated his citizenship and they put 100% tariffs on all his vehicles. So we'll see how he like those apples.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's watch another video. It's about a minute. Let's see what this one is.
As of 8 o'clock this morning, 100,000 people have signed up. Come on, y'all got to cheer for it. Target made overtures to meet with me on last week, but they wanted to meet with the diversity agent, and I told them I'm only going to meet with the CEO or the chairman of the board. I need a decision maker. I don't need a photo op. To be clear, it is not over in 40 days. That is a benchmark for us in 40 days. To see how far we have come because the Target stock has already dropped by $11 a share. And because you have kept your foot on the gas, in the last 40 days, Target has already lost $2 billion because it is meaningful.
So what do you think about that video?
That's a nice chunk of change to lose. And they also trying to reverse their DEI program. They're trying to reverse that at this point because they're losing so much money. And that's what we have to do as Americans.
Right.
Not just as Black Americans, all Americans.
Right.
If you don't like what's going on, the only way you're going to be able to fight back is fight back with your pocketbook. Don't buy anything that you don't have to buy. Only buy essentials. If we hit them in a pocketbook, then they'll understand where we're coming from. But as long as is because American confidence is what make America go around, right? Just like money greases the wheel and make them and make everything happen in your household. Same thing applies to all of these different business guys. Okay, that's how business in America operate. It's all about the Benjamins. And so you have to meet them where they are. And so if you take your dollars away from them and you take your money away from them and not shop with them, and then you only buy what you have to buy, they'll understand what's going on. Because let's keep it real, Americans love to splurge. Most of them live on credit cards, and most of them have more debt than they have money coming into the household. So if everybody just, pull back on all of that spending, then they'll get the message. Because billionaires and millionaires and, people that's really got a lot of money, they don't really spend their money. It's the broke people that spend all their money. The
Right.
broke people is what keep what they call broke. The broke people is what keep the economy going, because broke people are going to overextend themselves, and that's what that's the way that they thrive, and that's the way that they become rich, is because you're broke and you're spending all your money, you know, on a lot of unnecessary things. But that's what make America go. So if us as Americans pull back, and all these videos that we've been watching, all of these finding out moments, well, it haven't been long enough for me to get on to be sympathetic towards them. They need to feel the burn. 40 days is not long enough to be tired of Trump. No, y'all need to, y'all tired, but we need y'all sick and tired. We need y'all fed up, and we need y'all to get to the point to where we been all this time, because see, Black America is going to be okay. We know how to make do out of no do, out of nothing. Okay, we know how to make $1. We know how to make 15 cents out of $1. We know how to do that. We've been doing that most of our lives. Okay,
right.
We know how to survive. It's the other people that's been living, you know, this great, wonderful life of Raleigh. It's them who don't know how to survive. The people we've always been in this position. This is nothing new for us. Losing a job is nothing new for Black Americans. Being on the bottom is nothing new for Black Americans. Not having money to go pay your bills is not new for us. We know how to go in there and make a payment arrangement and pay some now and promise the rest later. That's what we do. Okay, we know how to make it. Spanish people know how to get some beans and rice and flour and make it throughout the whole year. Okay. The people of color know how to make it. It's the other people. We're going to see what y'all going to do. And really, we want them sick and tired. And when they get sick and tired and fed up, then that's when change is going to happen. Right now, they're just crying.
Right.
And right now, they're just waking up a little bit.
Right. So Urban said he has a question. So it's okay for people to pull up at Target, Walmart, etc., load up items in the cart, check out but don't pay, and force employees to do unnecessary extra work.
I never said that was okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say let's talk about that. So I saw where this they said it was a pastor that went in Target and he loaded his carts with all kinds of stuff, and he got to the cash register, and I believe it was over $2,000. And he said that somebody was rude to him and that he didn't want it. And let me just say for the record, my husband and I had a conversation about that, and I totally 100% disagree with that pastor, because see, the way I roll is I like to treat people the way I would like to be treated. And even though the woman that he said was rude to him was not African American, I had a sick feeling that the person who would have to put all of that stuff back would probably be African American. So no, I don't agree with that. I think that that was wrong, and I think that that pastor could have shown his disagreement with whatever was going on in a different way. And I think that when you say that you're a pastor, or you don't even have to have a title, if you say that you represent God, you need to represent him well. And I believe at that moment, he did not represent God well. So that's what I have to say about that. You have comments?
Well, what I have to say about it is we can look at this two different ways, Urban. If he was treated bad or whatever, I don't blame him. I wouldn't have. I don't spend my money where I'm not welcomed at. Okay, so if I go into a store, and I don't care if I do fill the basket up, and your employees start treating me mean or treating me a certain way where I don't feel like, you know, my dollars are good enough, I will walk out that store and make you put all that stuff up. But you also can look at it like this. Since everybody getting fired and they don't need nobody or what have you, then that way those people that work for Target, they can prepare for that. They can put that in their risk analysis plan or whatever. They can call it whatever they want to, and that'll give the employees something to do since ain't nobody in there shopping, and that way they can get their hours and still keep their job. So we can look at it two ways, okay? And so I know it may be somebody black that's putting those items back, but at least that black person have a black job that they can do. So that's how I look at it, Alice.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree on that because I saw the way that he went through the store.
Yeah, it looked like he did it purposely.
Yeah, he was going through the store and he was like, I'm going to get this. He was putting all these things, and it's to me, and somebody had to be filming him. So to me, it was something to go viral or to get clicks and views.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what a pastor should be doing.
No, a pastor shouldn't do that. I'm not saying a pastor should do it. And I don't even feel like a regular citizen, just a person that's not a pastor.
Right.
But I do look at it as if I know people that work for Target, and Target don't give you that many work hours. So you can look at it as, okay, well, the employees will have something to do. Because if they done lost $2 billion, that means, you know how companies are. The first thing they do to try to recoup funds is you lose jobs. You cut jobs off first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that will give somebody that work for the company something to do rather than lose their job. But but you're right. But on the surface, no, that's not a right thing to do. Don't go in these stores and fill baskets up. And I don't feel like it's a great thing to do. But it will give the employees something to do if it do happen.
Okay.
So not that I'm on board with it, but if it happens, I look at it as if, okay, well, you are an employee, so it will give you some work to do.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead.
And it's not only happening at Target. I've seen people do it like you said, at Walmart. And I've been seeing people on TikTok doing that kind of thing. And I just don't think it's a cool thing to do, go to these stores and do that sort of thing. But is it cool for them to get rid of DEI?
No, that's not cool either. But I think that these people are just doing this just to go. People will pick anything. They would find anything to go viral.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I think so too. A lot of this stuff is just for social media. Mm-hmm. And so, but at the end of the day, we're going to be facing some serious hard times, if this dude is it's not if he has already he's already implemented all these terrorists in these different countries and stuff. And he's making everybody an enemy, to the United States so that we can be in line with Russia. So that's what's the scary part for me.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to suffer with Mexico and Canada, because Canada, from my understanding, they provide a lot of electricity to the United States.
They do. And still.
So that's a problem.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking about the people. You just, just want to be. Some people don't care. I think you said it earlier, but some people don't care whether they have a good reputation or not. They just want everybody to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's kind of bordering on that, and his dementia doesn't help.
No. But would we rather have J.D. Vance with his good sharp mind? And, he's from an Ivy League college, so he know better. But the vitriol and the hatred, that he have, and, he used to be poor himself in Ohio. That's why he wrote that book, Hillbilly Trilogy. And he was, giving you an analogy of how people were living and how poor they were, in Ohio. But it's like you get in Congress and you forget where you come from. And those are the people that's scary to me. With Trump,
Right.
we know what we're gonna get. We know who he is, but we don't know who JD Vance is, and JD Vance don't even know who he is. So I'd
Right.
much rather deal with Trump because I know it's one thing about Trump. He's gonna be sloppy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna do it by any means necessary, and he's not gonna try to do it the lawful way. And anything that you do unlawful can be changed back to law.
Mm-hmm.
But with JD Vance, you know, he you know, his craft is a little bit sharper.
Right.
And he's gonna dot the I's and cross the T's and make sure that it stick, you know, he's gonna try to do it the right way and make sure that he can try to manipulate the Congress to implement laws to make his plans available. So I rather much you know, it's the lesser of the two evils. I really believe that Trump is the lesser of two evils when you're looking at JD Vance and you're looking at Trump. So which one would you prefer to be the president?
I don't want neither one of them, but I see where you're
Well,
coming
you have
from.
to choose one though, because they
I see where you're coming from. With JD Vance, you're right. Trump is like the one who tells you that I hate you, and JD Vance is the one that will say I love you, but he really does hate you.
Yeah.
So Blue wanted to know. Marjan, I guess she was answering. Blue wanted to know. She said, "Wait, who has dementia?" Blue, I believe that the orange guy has dementia. He shows the signs. And I have enough experience with people affected by that I believe what I'm seeing is signs of dementia.
And
But
they
we
knew
don't-
that when they voted him in, but they didn't care because they wanted
Right.
to have their way. They knew he was I mean, who ushers in a 80-year-old man to be the president?
A felon at that.
Right. And you talked about Joe Biden being too old because he wanted to vote out. But Joe Biden, I mean, the only time we seen him slip up is when he did that debate. And I don't even feel like he slipped up. I feel like he had COVID. He didn't feel good and he was just exerted.
Yeah, he was sick.
Tired.
You could clearly tell that he was sick.
Yeah, he was sick and he was tired.
Right.
And that's all that was. But not one day in office did that man act like he didn't know what was going on.
Right. So let's look at this last video, and then we're gonna read
then we can wrap this up. Yeah.
we're gonna read the starred comments, and then we're gonna go.
Who did you vote for president?
Mr. Trump.
Right?
Trump. Mr. Trump.
If the election were today, Frank, would you vote for Donald Trump?
No way. Couldn't happen. No.
Did you hear what I said?
You voted for President Trump. So now, in this moment, you say you're in a free fall. What is your message to him?
So I'm off the Trump train. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business.
Island, a wheat farmer who says he's lost $400,000 since Trump took office.
I think there was a lot of people who voted for him that want to stay loyal to him, but it's going to get to the point where financially, if it's between supporting the president or losing your family farm.
You voted for the president?
Yes, I did.
And do you support these policies which might be hurting farmers like you?
Right now, we're the ones that are taking the hit.
I think he's sort of backstabbing the main people who got him into office in the Midwest, and he just left us down.
Well,
it's the laughing for me. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying.
Exactly. Well,
Oh man.
they're in their moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
But did you hear what the first one said? Well, we want to support the president, but if it comes to my business, so you don't care about him inflicting pain on everybody
Right.
else. All you care about is if he inflicts that pain on you. So let him do and roll over and roll under the women, the people of color, and anybody, immigrants, anybody else. He can do everything else that he's doing. Just don't mess with my stuff. Just don't make it hurt. Just don't make it, don't let it hit home. And you can hit everybody else home, but just don't hit mine. That's what I heard from that. What do you hear?
I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like one of those that voted for him based on the fact that he wasn't going to do anything to them.
Right. Well, Urban putting another remark on here, saying the reason why they feel that the reason why they feel that why is because the unrealistic expectation. Trump did guarantee them more money. However, he can't instantly make it happen like they want it. Well, Urban, he's the one who said he was going to do everything on day one.
That's what he said.
He gave them instant gratification when he asked for them to instantly vote for him, and everything was going to miraculously happen all in one day. But when he got rid of the Inflation Reduction Act, when he rolled that back, when he got rid of that plan, that's why come they hurting it. That's why they on there crying. Now, you didn't catch the very first of the show, but we kind of talked about that a little bit, because when he rolled back that plan, it rolled back the money that Joe Biden had already set aside for them to have. And so now they're not going to get that money. And that's why come a lot of them are going to lose their farms, because he rolled back the reduction in what is it called? Inflation and Reduction Act.
Right.
He rolled all of that back. So not only are they going to be hurting, even the people, and this is not even on the political side, these are FEMA. He rolled back the money from FEMA. So those people that was affected by the hurricane, guess what? They don't get no federal funds, because FEMA is, he's trying to shut that down.
Right.
The kids with disabilities, I feel sorry for them in the public schools, because they're trying to take their money away. So those kids are, all these free therapists that they have and all this Medicaid that they're using to go to the doctors and all that. Well, I guess they're going to have to just put them. I heard they said they want to put the disabled people in account. Now, I didn't see that, but I heard that he wanted to put disabled people in account. Like, make that make sense.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
I haven't either, but I heard it on social media, and I didn't research it, but that's just something that's maybe just swirling around. So that's not factual, and I haven't really researched that, and if that's true, though, that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to do something like that? But the whole thing, to me, the whole point of this administration is to inflict pain on as many people as you can and line our pockets up with y'all's money and as much as we can. What do you see out this administration, Alice?
Yeah, I agree. I believe the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, praying and instead of praying.
Right. And, and roll back everybody rights except for the white man. And everybody else, y'all don't have rights. Women, children, black people, orange people, green people. Nobody have rights other than a white man. Right. And everybody else, or below them is basically what is the way that they're trying to roll, in my opinion.
And another thing, Trump agrees with the stop and frisk. So
yeah,
with all of the Latina and African American men and other nationalities, that felt the need to vote for him. I sure hope that you're not a victim of stop and frisk.
And also, I hope you're not a pharmaceutical salesman either, because I heard him say on the news today that he wanted to execute all drug dealers.
Oh yeah, he said that when he was campaigning.
Yeah, well, it's swirling back around again. So that may be something that he do an executive order on. So, he's just crazy enough to try to implement that also. So, and he got the National Guard down there at the border, since they're rolling back everybody's job, because what he's doing now, I'm in a border state, right? And it's a lot of federal employees that have lost their job that work for the border. And and he's implementing the National Guard to guard the border. Right. So instead of them being on standby to help fight wars for the country, they have to stand over there and board and secure the border for them.
Right.
So
crazy. And let me read some of these comments. They're mostly Abril comments. She said, so he didn't believe fat meat greasy either. I think that was about the first video.
Yeah.
And then she said, I don't understand that. Now he does after voting this dysfunction, I guess. And then
what he's basically saying is he believed fat meat greasy now after his voting is dysfunctional.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Okay, yeah, she said after voting him back in. And then she said, not just put him in the office, but further allow him to fill his cabinet with a bunch of criminals just like him. Right, that part. He's what we classify as a uncivilized Christian. And we wonder why folks be on here faithful to and worshiping some of these content creators on here in place of God. You don't have to digress. Go ahead, talk about it, sis. Talk about it. Talk about it because it's so true. And you said, just like folks worship him, it's very dangerous and gives me Jim Jones vibes. It's scary how much people can put full trust in a man or wolf the world. Love them study Bibles, helpful for everyone to have one. Right. Be off track and ain't got God nowhere in them. That part. Look at our First Lady disguised as an American when she is indeed an immigrant. This man is something else. How he gonna be married to one but focus on getting all the others out but her? Well, Ms. Jazzy says, just think about, he had 4 years to stew and brew. They've had so much time to plan all this mess. Exactly, Ms. Jazzy. They planned this. They had this plan for a while. This is in process for a while.
Well, I say they've been having it planned since the 70s, Miss Jazzy. They've been trying to implement these, especially the abortion thing.
Well, some of it, but the Project 2025, I think a lot of it came from when he couldn't do what he wanted to do the first time in his first administration, because he had some people that had morals in the first administration. They wouldn't go along with all of his stuff. But now he's nominated and Senate has approved people who are yes people and will go along with anything that he says. So Abril said he couldn't wait 24 hours before he got to putting Project 25 in place. What is he truly doing? What he is truly doing is setting grounds for World War III. He around here acting like he playing real life Monopoly. Right. Y'all seen the reconstruction plans he has for Gaza? Omega Natalie. Yeah, I saw that. They were talking about that before the election. Jared Kushner was over there talking about what they were going to do with that land. This is the last one. Now he's teasing all the goofies with $5,000 Doge checks. They have no idea what they are losing in lieu of the receipt of those checks when and if they do come. I doubt very seriously if anybody gets one check besides the millionaires and billionaires. So I don't know what's going on with the chat with some of you, but my I'm sure the moderators can handle it. But anyway, any final thoughts? I said what I said before we go.
Yeah. Like I said before, they're not tired enough yet. I need them to be a little bit more disgusted. And once the MAGA followers find out that this is going to hit them as well as it's going to hit the rest of America, then that's when they would try to do better. There'll be more, it'll be more people that want to take in the process of the political atmosphere. More people will probably try to be more informed, because this is going to be like, you know how sometimes when you get off track and God have to whoop you back into track? and when God give you a whooping, that's what we on right now. It seemed like, and it's like they're all in a cult, and in order for them to come out this cult-like behavior, they're going to have to get a whooping. They're going to have to get a whooping, and some pain is going to be inflicted, and a lot of people are going to have to lose a lot of things in order for them to wake up. And unfortunately, that's the only way we're going to come out of this mess.
Right.
And everybody going to have to come back to their common senses, because common sense just not common no more with a lot of people. A lot of people are voting against their own interests. A lot of people are going along to get along. And whenever this guy finished doing whatever it is that he's trying to do, it's going to take a long time for America to bounce back. Right. They're already trying to replace the American dollar, because the rest of the countries are trying to are really going to start shunning us and treating us like we're Russia, since Russia is our best friend now. So
Right.
we're going to get the Russian treatment is basically what's going to happen. So everybody going to have to buckle down and tighten up and just get ready for this ride, because it's going to be a long ride. And so
Right.
everybody going to have to spend their dollars wisely. You can't be too frivolous. You're going to have to, really get in the mindset of just buying things that's things that you need and not the things that you want.
Right.
And once everybody, if we all work on one accord in America and we all pull back our dollars, that's the only way that the people in charge is going to get attention. And
Right.
we really need to take some of these people that's been in office a long time, that's just been stagnant and just in office just to serve themselves instead of the public. We need them out too. So I just think in the next 4 years, it's going to be a very, very bumpy ride. And we better get ready. We better saddle up, because we getting ready to take a ride is what I got to say about it. And I know
Get
that.
ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah,
What
we
you
better get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Like
That's right.
TJ say.
Janice says the only concerns I have is my husband's military disability retirement might be reduced, and my brother with his Purple Heart, his disability and retirement might be reduced. Yeah, Janice. It's unfortunate that other people have to suffer because of this foolishness. Thanks, Blue and Urban. I appreciate y'all. So thanks. I said what I said. Thank you for joining me. I think this was a very good conversation. Right, Jamila. So that may affect you as well.
Yeah, when they get rid of the Department of Education, that affects
Yeah,
the
yeah,
children with disability. But it really
yeah.
depends on what state you're located in, because they're going to try to defund the Medicaid, and that's what helped take care of the children with disabilities. And like I said, we all going to suffer. But on some of this stuff though, don't I don't want to try to scare I don't want to scare everybody, because the judges are going to be able to, hopefully the judicial system holds up on some of this stuff.
Yeah, but his Department of Justice is not going, they're trying not to go by the judge's orders. So that's another problem. But we can talk about that next time. Thank you all for joining the live. I'm going to see if I can call you all. Remember the names individually. I know Wanda was here, Janice, Blue, Jamila, Urban, Marjan. Ms. Jazzy? Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody?
I forgot that name. Is something about We Stand Together or something like that, or a Brilliant.
Oh, how in the world can
I know she was chatting in the chat more than anybody.
Yeah. she should have been on the panel.
Right.
But I appreciate her. Please, please talk to my head and not my heart, Avril. Urban said he's not here. Okay, Urban. Thank you for not being
here. Get it together wellness.
Yeah, that's Wanda.
Oh, that's Wanda. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you all. Even if I didn't agree with you, I agree with most of you for the most part. But thank you for coming to the first live. Yeah. Thank you for coming to the first live for this channel. And we're going to try to do this more regularly. I'm not sure about the schedule yet, but look out for it. And thank you for participating in the chat, especially you, Avril. Thank you so much for keeping it going. And if you enjoyed the live, feel free to share it out. Leave a comment after the live so that people will may be interested in the information that we discussed. And again, that's right. Get straight. Listen to Blue, Urban. Again, I thank each and every one of you for being here. Make sure you check the links in the chat and subscribe to I Said What I Said channel. She has a lot going on over her channel. And please support my moderators. Support Blue, who is Journey Mirror. She has 2 channels. It's Journey Mirror and Blues Plate. And a Brilliant, she has a channel. She's also, her daughter has a channel, and I believe that she helps with her daughter's channel as well. So y'all drop those links. And Ms. Jazzy, she's just starting her channel. She's not a moderator, but she is a supporter. So y'all support her as well. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I look forward to the next time. And thanks again. I Said What I Said. You're a moderator as well. I appreciate you. I'm going to wait for the links to be dropped before I go. Oh, Blue, did you put the link in for your journal? Urban, you say you always buy hardback. That's probably because you're a hard head. But I digress.
All Urban, all right.
Yeah, y'all can. Yeah, if anybody, Blue or Brill, if y'all, if you can stomach putting Urban's link in the chat, feel free to do so.
Not stomach.
You know I'm messing with him.
He say, "Wait, what? What you talking about? What you talking about?"
I appreciate you, Urban. Thanks, Blue. Okay, y'all, let's get out of here. We've been here for over 2 hours. Y'all know I don't have no long lives like that.
Oh, y'all know who made it long.
Yeah. Thanks again. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks again for your support. I appreciate it. All right. Bye, y'all.
Have a great day, everybody, and thank you.
Irvin said he trigger people. He does. Yes, he does. All right. Thanks, Blue. Is that it for the links before I go? I don't want to miss anything. Oh, that's sorry. Thanks, Abril. Jamila, did I call your name? I hope I did. I hope I didn't miss you too.
I'm like Urban.
Okay,
I'm like Urban. I might trigger you on my channel too. So put the seatbelt on if you're coming over there to my channel.
I'm not trying to rush you, Blue. I'm waiting for you to finish. Just let me know when you're finished, okay? Don't try. Don't, Blue. Look, you don't see me, but I see you. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Thanks, Abril. I appreciate you, Blue and Abril. I appreciate y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gone for real. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. And I hope. Thank you. You know what? Blue has given me permission to end the live. Isn't that something? Thank you so much, Blue. You are too kind. I don't know what to say. What did I do to deserve you, Blue? I don't know what I did, but thank you. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. We out of here. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.